So, y'all, I have some really exciting news and I just had to make a video about it. I know I'm late to the game and probably everyone has already realized this, but I am going to throw my 2 cents into the ring for this. Meg LaTorre, author of The Cyborg Tinkerer, which, as you probably all know, we read as a read-along here on this channel, she's back. She disappeared from the internet shortly after the rather disastrous debut of her debut book, The Cyborg Tinkerer. Those of you not familiar, Meg was/is still somehow, we'll get into that, one of the big names of AuthorTube, right up there with like the likes of Jenna Moreci or... Okay, well that took me way too long to look up. Alexa Dunn. Alexa Dunn is the other one I was thinking of. Anyway, they are all AuthorTube royalty. I became actually interested in Meg right about the time that she disappeared. And I thought that maybe the internet would just never see her again, but now, over a year later, she has made her triumphant return, and we are going to be reacting to some parts of that video. I will be cutting this up pretty thoroughly and only bringing you the parts that interest us here on this channel. So if you want to know all of the things that have been going on with her, please go over to her channel and check out her video. We're only going to be talking about the stuff that interests us here, so like where she's been, what she's doing now, and most importantly, can we expect any more writing from her? Because as you guys might remember from my read-along of The Cyborg Tinkerer, while I thought the book was quite bad, I was actually very encouraging of Meg herself. I really think that she could learn and grow and become a better author with a lot more practice under her belt. So let's check out her video and see if she is up to any more writing. I really hope so, but let's find out. Let's watch. Now, like I said, I have heavily edited her video down to only the parts that we want to talk about.
I did go on an unplanned hiatus for about a year and a half, depending on when I post this video, and I do think it only right to share with you all where I have been, why I have been gone. Please rest assured that my kiddo and I are happy and safe and well.
So Meg unfortunately underwent a divorce. I knew that something big was happening in her personal life when she was publishing The Cyborg Tinkerer, and I'm assuming this is it. This is really none of my business. Her personal life is her personal life. I just wanted to put this in here because she put it in her video for context of like where she's been, and now we have an answer as to what the big personal thing was going on. I am going to speak no more on the subject of her divorce because that is quite frankly none of my business, but that's where she's been.
And I ultimately decided to go back to the corporate world. But what does this mean for the book nerd community and iWriterly? I'm sure you're putting 2 and 2 together. I will be doing videos in my free time. My work and my kiddo and my loved ones in my personal life will come first. And I'll be doing my videos in my free time. I still do want to produce content for you guys now that I'm here and ready to come back and excited about creating content.
So she has gotten back into the corporate world, quote unquote. We have no idea what her job is, but again, that is none of our business. But that means that her videos will be a little bit more inconsistent. That's fine. A lot of people have to do videos that way. Honestly, I was not subscribed to her before because I thought she was never coming back, and I don't like subscribing to channels that never put out any content. But now that she's back, I have subscribed to her because I am quite frankly interested in her journey. Weirdly enough, I became a fan of her as a person by reading her book, even though the book itself is terrible.
I know a lot of you guys found me through the Literary Agent Rejection series, especially while I was on hiatus. This channel grew a lot. We are almost at 100,000 subscribers, so welcome.
I'm going to try really hard not to be too salty with this video, but it's really difficult as a creator who has been working doggedly at YouTube for years and years and years, never taken a break, never had a hiatus. I have had to reduce the number of videos I put out per week, but recently I've kind of been increasing that again. I grow at a snail's pace. And meanwhile, Meg disappears from the internet for over a year, and her channel gets bigger. It's really difficult not to be salty. But anyway, I guess this is my call to action. If you like my channel, please help it grow because I do not grow quickly, and I have been doing this for probably longer than Meg has, and putting out content way more consistently than Meg has or will be. Nothing pleases the algorithm on my channel, and so make sure that you are subscribed and that you ding the bell if you actually want to see my content. But anyway, I'm done being salty, but must be nice, Meg.
I'm so happy to have you here and that you've connected with the content. I hope it's been really helpful for you and that it's been a positive thing for you in your writing journey. However, my interests have shifted. I don't really want to do writing how-to videos for right now.
I mean, this makes sense. I think she ran into the biggest trouble with her channel when she was doing a lot of writing how-to videos and at the same time writing a book that basically followed none of her own advice. That's a real trip hazard that a lot of us author tubers run into. And quite frankly, if you read my books, you might also go, hey, wait a minute, Julian said this, and then she wasn't able to do it in her book. It is a lot easier to see what a book needs versus knowing how to implement it in a book, but I think Meg is being smart, steering away from that kind of advice now. However, we'll see if that affects her channel, because one of the main reasons that a lot of people came to her channel was for the advice side of it. So we'll see if that affects things. But she's got whole new directions she's going to go in. I am not going to promote her channel for her. So while you will probably see here in this video a few things that she's going to be doing, I am not going to be like covering a lot of the upcoming stuff. You're going to have to go to her video and find out what she's going to be doing for the most part.
I'm not really interested in resuming the literary agent rejection series. I feel pretty removed from that realm at this point. And my interest is now shifting more towards author interviews. I really want to have authors on the channel who write in adult, not young adult, adults, science fiction, fantasy, and romance.
So I think she'll probably do really well at the interviews. I have not seen too many of her interviews, but I think she has the right personality for it, and I think this could be a really successful series for her. I write adult fantasy. Meg, she will never let me on her channel. I was very mean to her book, and I personally don't blame her if she would never want to speak to me in a million years.
Leaning more so towards science fiction, romance, and fantasy romance, and steampunk does absolutely fall in those categories.
You know, Meg, I have a fantasy romance. It is not very steamy, though. It is like maybe a 1 on the steaming, 0.5 on the steaminess scale. But I have an adult fantasy romance.
And another thing that I do intend to keep doing is the first page series where I bring on literary agents. You guys can submit your first pages and they'll critique them and say if they would consider them in the querying process.
I think this is a really cool idea. I hope it works out. Honestly, I might be tempted to submit some of my own pages at some point because I am dying to know what agents think when they read my pages. Just like I never get anything but form responses. So right now I'm not actually querying. I am leaning more towards the self-publishing side of it, but I am still hopeful to one day be a hybrid author. And so if I ever get back into querying, it would be great to know what hang-ups there are for my first pages. A lot of her ideas do hinge on other people, which can be difficult on the internet when you're trying to like wrangle other people to like talk to them and stuff. I know I'm no good at it. That's why you only ever see me on this channel, me and my husband, because he lives with me. But yeah, I really am curious to see this.
And if they'd ask for more pages and that sort of a thing. I will continue to do some of the publishing writing content, but it is not going to look the same as it was before. Another shift in my content is it's a little harder to like put your finger on, but it will be like the tone of my content, aka me. I think prior to my hiatus, I really leaned into the sweet and professional side of myself. And while that is still an authentic side of myself, it is an aspect of myself. It is one part of my personality. And I think I didn't really lean into the sassier, dark humor, self-deprecating humor, no bullshit kind of side of myself.
I love that for you, Meg. I'm super excited to see more of your actual personality shine through. As you guys know here on this channel, I also swear like a sailor and am not meant for little kids to watch. So like, I subscribe to her because I'm really interested in the direction her channel is going, and I'm so happy to like see more of her personality going to be coming out, hopefully. I always got the vibe that she wasn't quite as sweet and innocent as she portrayed, you know, in her videos, because I knew that was mostly just like a face to make her very palatable for the general viewer, which is something we're not really interested in on this channel. I can't even be arsed to wear makeup half the time, so yeah, I'm really interested to see where this is going, and good for her! Unironically, good for her.
Next up, let's talk about my writing. The short answer for this is I have no update. At this point in time, I haven't felt the desire to write, and I don't want to force it. So I have decided what is bringing me joy is creating other types of content in the meantime, like launching this new podcast, doing these author interviews. Really want to do these things that kind of fills my creative well, and something that I think would be valuable to you guys as well. So I don't have an update. I'm not writing anything right now. When I do, and when I feel that I'm ready at a point to share it with you guys, I will certainly keep you updated. But the update for now is I have no update. I've had a lot of folks reach out asking me about the second book in the Cyborg Tinkerer series. Really appreciate that you guys enjoyed the first book, and totally cool for those who didn't enjoy it, like, you know, to each their own. But for those who reached out and asked about it, I don't have plans to write one at this point because I'm not writing anything, but I appreciate your interest.
This is too bad. I'm really quite disappointed that she has been turned off of writing. I suspect that obviously the life events going on in her life were a big factor, but at least I personally find writing to be very comforting. So if I was going through a big life upheaval, I would actually probably be writing more. So it's too bad that writing was not the comfort that it could be, but also I suspect that the fact that her first book did not land very well, and there was all that controversy with it, and people accusing her of like buying 5-star reviews and stuff like that, which again, I don't personally believe, but you can believe what you want. Yeah, that might turn anyone off of writing, and I find that really disappointing. Like, one thing I definitely want to say, having read her book, is that she is not a lost cause. She can get better. She could grow. There are sparks there that could become something. Much like me, and like I've talked about within that read-along, is that she's not a natural, neither am I. I relate very strongly to Meg for that reason. It has taken me basically my entire life to get to a place where I feel like I can call myself good. Not even great, not awesome, just good, like baseline. So I totally like resonate with Meg, and I wish that she hadn't had such a disastrous debut and all of those things sort of coming together to probably cause her to not want to write for a very long time. I hope she can get back into it. I hope she can find joy in writing like I do, and solace in writing. But I mean, if she doesn't, even if she doesn't, I'm still interested in her channel and her growth. But Meg, if you're out there, if you're listening to this, it's going to take you a lot of practice, and that could be really daunting to hear. But honestly, writing is fun. Writing is enjoyment, and just find the joy that is there in writing. And then if you become a published author somewhere down the line, I mean, she already is, but if you become a republished author, I guess you could say, somewhere down the line, if you come back to publishing again, it will be with a much greater skill level than you first came into it with. And I think that was like the biggest mistake, was that she still needs a lot more practice under her belt. And I know she had already written a couple of books before the Cyborg Tinkerer, but y'all, I have written so many books, and 99% of them you will never see, because they're all like practice. They're all stepping stones to getting me to the place where I can say that I feel like my books are okay. But I really am hopeful for Meg that she can come back to writing. It is never too late to start writing. You could start writing at 90 if you wanted to. Like, just find, hopefully, a way for it to bring you joy. But that's this video. I just wanted to like update you all in case some of you guys were like me, just sort of twiddling your thumbs and maybe wondering if Meg was ever going to come back to the internet. She's back. Feel free to go watch her whole video. There's a whole bunch of other updates on there. She got a sleeve tattoo, which looks really boss. I love it. I want more tattoos. And it seems like she's doing well, and she's got lots of plans in the future, so go check out her channel for all of that. And check out my channel if you are new here. Wander around. Like I mentioned before, there is a ton of content here. You're bound to find something you like. And if you came here because you're interested in the Cyborg Tinkerer and you'd like a very thorough critique of it, check out my read-along. It is sort of a mixture of a thoughtful writerly critique and humor like in MST3K. So if that appeals to you, which I feel that it should, definitely go check that out if you haven't already. But I'm going to stop talking. I will see all of you around for my usual regularly scheduled videos. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.
Look, I have one job on this lousy ship. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it, okay?
KJ, LaFone, Unicorn Jenny, Celia, Neon, Taya, Alyssa, Deborah, My96, Afra, Melissa, Swamp Goblin Waifu, Sophia, Marween, Kit, Hidden Glade, Light Julie, Belle, Patrick, Anne-Sophie, Callison, Ray, Shelby, Zaire, Jesper, Rennie, Scribbling Cat, Savvy, Jenny, Amanda, Lisa, and Sarah.
Sure, no problem.